Hello, good morning. I'm sorry I've not been able to make videos for a while now. I'm back. I hope you're fine. Hello, good morning. This is Grace Asanana, a registered nurse, registered midwife in Nigeria, and a registered mental nurse in the UK. I'm sorry I've not been able to make video for a while now. So today I've come to continue our OSCE section. I've done video on assessments for both mania and depression. So now let's go into planning for both mania and depression. So after your assessments, you're going into planning. So today let's start with the marking criteria. It's a disclaimer that I'm not a trained OSCE tutor, but I'm doing this out of the experience I had, and I was able to pass my OSCE in first attempt. So you can subscribe, like, share, and invite others to benefit from this. So the marking criteria for planning is what I'm going to read out now. So handwriting is clear and legible for both care plans. Identify two relevant nursing problems. Identify aims of both problems. Set appropriate evaluation dates for both problems. Ensure nursing intervention occurrence, evidence-based best practice are related to aim of care. Include assessment tools, score and response. Include referrals. Self-care opportunities identified and relevant. Outline the person's current spiritual and family care needs. Professional terminologies used and confusing abbreviations and acronyms should be avoided. Ensure strike-through errors retain legibility. And print, sign, and dates. Make sure you act professionally throughout the procedure in accordance to NMC 2018 Code of Conduct, Professional Code of Practice and Conduct. So when they say ensure strike-through errors retain legibility, that means if you make a mistake, like you wrote something and you want to cancel it, you don't need to maybe do like this, cancel it this way. You don't need to cancel it this way. They want you to just one line, then ensure that you put your initials on top of that cross. They want to see the mistake you've made and they want it to be legible. Make sure that you write your initials up here, like GE, GEA, GEB, any what your initial is, put it there. Don't cancel it this way. If not, your score might have a problem. So after going through the marking criteria for planning, let's go into the nursing problem. So planning is bringing the nursing problem that you identified during your assessment to make a plan for that patient. The two assessments, you're going to be assessed in two areas for mental health or skill. Either you're assessed for depression, bipolar, both is bipolar. Either the patient is depressed or the patient is manic. So if you're doing mania, you have to plan a care for a manic patient. If you're being assessed for depression, you have to plan a care for depressive patients. So I'm going to state out the two care plan for this, both for mania and for depression. So you need two care plans for each. You need your aim, you need your reevaluation dates, you need your nursing and self-care interventions. And then when you're done, you have to put your name, you have to sign, and you have to write the dates, that date that you're writing your exams. So first, let's start with planning, planning for a manic patient. So the nursing problem that I have here is relapse of bipolar disorder, manic phase, evidenced by Rosie's elation in mood. So my patient's name is Rosie. So relapse of bipolar disorder, manic phase, evidenced by Rosie's elation in mood. So what are the aims? What is the aims of care? To stabilize Rosie's mood. Short and simple. They don't need your English. They don't need stories. Just go straight to the point. To stabilize Rosie's mood. Then re-evaluation dates. When are you going to re-evaluate this care plan? You can re-evaluate it today, which is today's date. End of shifts, when you're about ending your shift, or if condition changes. Today is 1st August 2025. End of shift, or if condition changes. Those are your evaluation dates. Then we come to nursing and self-care intervention. Then refer Rosie to a doctor for a medication review. Here, Rosie is already in the hospital and they're asking you to plan a care because a manic patient, there's no need to nurse her in the community. The patient has to be admitted in the hospital after the assessment or during the assessment. So now the patient is in the hospital. What do you have to do? First nursing intervention is refer Rosie to a doctor for a medication review, because she was skipping medication. She did not comply to medication. She adjusts medication and takes it whenever she feels like. So what is the self-care intervention? Rosie agreed to be referred to her doctor for medication review. Short and simple. Planning is very easy. It's one of the easiest station in OSCE, mental health OSCE. Then the second um, nursing intervention is administer Rosie's prescribed medication. While the patient is in the hospital, you have to administer medication as prescribed. Then Rosie agreed to take prescribed medication. That is the self-care intervention. Then the third one is, at least you have to do three nursing and self-care intervention. The third one is educate Rosie on the symptoms of relapse. Then what is the self-care intervention? The self-care intervention there is Rosie agreed to be educated on the symptoms of relapse. Either you write it this way, first the nursing intervention, then followed by the self-care intervention, or you state out the three nursing intervention and then you write down the three self-care intervention. I see this one writing this way very easy, so that you just write your own nursing intervention and then the self-care, which is what the patient has agreed to do. Then another thing that I want to say during this planning is that whatever thing you did not mention to the patient and the patient didn't agree to do during the assessment phase should not come into planning. Like you can have refer Rosie to GP for her medication review, and you did not talk about that with Rosie and she didn't agree about medication review. You can bring Rosie agreed to take a prescribed medication. You can bring something else to write under self-care intervention. If you don't understand that, please, you can ask me, and I will explain more for you. So the next thing to do is to write your name, and then signature, and then the date. We are done with the first plan nursing problem. So we have to go to the next nursing problem. So our second care plan is poor sleep pattern evidenced by Rosie's inability to sleep for 3 days. If the question does not state how many days that the patient was unable to sleep, this information can be found in assessment, the assessment. So if the assessment, the information in the assessment does not state the exact days that the patient was unable to sleep, please don't write it in your plan, in your nursing problem. Just states maybe inability to sleep and then stop there. Or if it did mention 1 day, 2 days, you can mention it. But if it did not state, just stop here. Stop. Don't formulate to say 3 days when you didn't have any information stating that. So our nursing problem, the second one is poor sleep pattern evidenced by Rosie's inability to sleep for 3 days. So the aim is to improve sleep pattern to at least 3 to
To
8 hours
improve
per
sleep
day.
to at least
Then
6
our
to 8
evaluation date is
hours a
1st
day.
August 2025. End of shift or if condition changes. Then we go to nursing and self-care intervention. Refer Rosie to the doctor for sedative medication. And what is your self-care intervention? Rosie agreed to be reviewed by the doctor. The second one is ensure environment is conducive to aid sleep. Rosie agreed to be nursed in a conducive environment. Then provide Rosie with warm drink, not caffeinated. Rosie agreed to take warm drink. So that's about the second nursing problem. You have to put your name, the signature, and the date. So now we are done with the mania assessment for mania. So we'll now go into nursing problem, planning for mania. We'll now go into planning for depressive patients. Thank you.